James Baino. Jimmy Baino. So, wow. Last week was crazy. Let me tell you, it was crazy. Kind of like a cop calling for the followers of a hate group or Turtle Boy Sports to come to my home. So, Jimmy. So here we go, right? Nobody paid attention. Nobody paid any attention. You know, I was just discussing this with New Shoreham, and I placed the call to the Attorney General's office because it just so happens last week, I was looking into this because Frank Milos had said, he wasn't really 100% sure that, that the Pawtucket police had anything to do with sending. He's a little fluffernutter, right? He fluffs over shit. So, Jimmy, come on. What's going on here? You want to get unemployment after beating somebody as a police officer? And you want to mention that, did you really want to mention that you've had 20 years of law enforcement, most of it in Pawtucket? Did you want to mention that? Because those were kind of keywords to find out that on March 26th, you're going to be in court in Wakefield, Tower Hill Road. I'll be there, Jimmy. I'll be there. Because I want to see what happens when Pawtucket doesn't take care of the problem and then somebody else gets hurt by the same cop. So, Jimmy, you thought it was funny? Did you think it was funny that Turtle Boy Sports Kate Peter was looking for private information on my deceased child? You scumbag piece of shit, right? It was that what it was? And who actually gave her my son's death certificate? Was it you, Jimmy? I know you took one for the team. Was it one of your teammates? Interesting. So last week was a little bit of back and forth, because there was a lot of emails between the Attorney General's office and myself, explaining everything and how, because of your actions, I lived in fear. In fact, my mother lived in fear. I lost 2 dogs. Did you know that, Jimmy? Did you know that? So anyway, speaking with the Attorney General's office and then speaking with the state police, it was LaValle from the state police. He's retired now. He was the one that I met with for about 45 minutes to an hour at the state police barracks about you, Jimmy, about you. I know. They helped you so much in Pawtucket by covering up your criminal behavior in Pawtucket. But, when you mention that you worked in law enforcement for 20 years, why did you leave Pawtucket again, Jimmy? What was that? What as the FOP president, you left. Now, I met with Holden, and Holden said that, some of the police officers thought you went too far by sending people to my house. And by the way, I know I'm Michael Moore's fat or uglier sister. When you're in court and you look at the people that are going to be watching this, you can pick me out. You can pick me out, right? Because that's, I look like Michael Moore's fat or uglier sister. I actually like Michael Moore. So, yeah. I don't know. I think things come back and bite you in the ass. And when you live in East Providence and you come to Pawtucket and call a Massachusetts group, their followers, to come to my home during a live, along with Brian Beech. I mean, let's not exclude Brian Beech, because his involvement. Sean Driscoll, let's not ignore his involvement. Let's not ignore Tina's involvement, Frank Milos's involvement, and of course, I mean, the mayor telling me to stay safe. All of this stuff is well documented, and I'm just so glad that you didn't show up in court already. But on March 26th, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows. Everybody knows what Jimmy Baino did in Pawtucket. I was surprised that after what you did in Pawtucket, that you were actually able to continue on as a police officer. But I think that Tina will be probably answering to that of why after that happened was Jimmy Baino still able to continue on. And, one of my questions was, did Tina warn New Shoreham of your putting people in harm's way? Tina, the public safety director, did she warn them of who you really are, Jimmy? Wonder. So I welcome the opportunity. I think that everything happens for a reason. Frank Milos was just asked recently about the Turtle Boy sports situation. He released that email, Jimmy, where he said, that you wanted to send it from your FOP president email address in Pawtucket to show that you were legit. You got to be legit. You got to be legit when you're engaging in criminal activity. I think that that's the most important thing for that resume, that you're legit. I mean, because that's important. So if you don't think I've already called New Shoreham, I have. If you don't think I've already called the Attorney General's office, I have. If you think I haven't called the state police and the media about this, then you might be mistaken if you think that I would let you take one for the team and not really take it for the team. I'm hoping that you take a lot for the team when you end up in the ACI. That's what I'm hoping. Your criminal behavior in Pawtucket should have landed you in jail. And karma comes, and it looks like you'll probably end up in jail this time, right? If I have anything to do with it, with exposing exactly what happened in the city of Pawtucket, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure that everybody is aware. Jimmy, really? I'm just surprised that so many people tried to cover for you, like Theodore DeGisitz and Sean Driscoll and Frank Milos. That's one there. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Frank Milos, with his involvement in the Turtle Boy sports situation and cover up, that he would have the nerve to be bringing me to court for something else. But we're gonna see this through, Jimmy. We're gonna make sure that everybody is held accountable. I know you said that you took one for the team, but some of your team members are probably going to have to answer some really hard questions. And although Tina should probably be on a Brady Giglio list, I think she should be called in about your performance. Because I think that there's some accountability that she needs to take for the fact that, you did everything that you did in Pawtucket, and now somebody was harmed by you, right? She ignored what was happening to me and Christine. But now that you've done this, so Jimmy, I hope they put handcuffs on you and put you in a jail cell for a good long time. That's what I hope. And I don't really especially hope it for you as much as the community, because they don't need to be dealing with the likes of you.